What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. We have 2 upcoming live shows. The first live show is going to be November 3rd in Huntington Beach at the Rec Room. And then on November 8th, we have a show at Joseph's Cafe in Hollywood. For more information on those shows or any of our future shows, please check out our website, comedypopupla.com. All right, let's start the show. What's up, everybody? This is Paul Antonio here. We are pleased to bring you a very special episode from Big Sky in Billings, Montana. Now, this episode, we got to sit down with 2 of the organizers of the Big Pine Comedy Festival in Arizona, Hillary Hutson and Jack Galvin, as well as the eventual second place winner in the Big Sky Comedy Festival, Ken Boyd. Now, this was recorded at one of our live tapings at the festival itself, so we hope you enjoy this very special episode of the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast.
Something else, and then you basically it's a race. You're racing. So I did that a couple of times. I'm doing the balance beam. It's another little obstacle. I'm doing everything, thinking I'm in shape.
Yeah, you can try out for that show now.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's a little more intricate than the bullshit course that I ran.
That's the submission.
But then all the jumping, and you jumping from your ass, so my ass muscles are sore, and your fucking traps are sore, but you know.
I think that should be the first round of the festival. It's just like whoever survives that. All right, then first round of cuts. No, just not comedy related.
But outside of it's fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm just old.
Now, did you guys feel like that kind of brought you guys more out of your shell, or like got you talking to people and interacting?
Of course.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a great element.
It's a different setting. I like that it's mandatory. I don't understand why it should be mandatory, because everybody should just want to go.
Yeah.
But I like the mandatory aspect, because I've been to festivals where things aren't mandatory and people just don't show up, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And they don't think they're missing anything, but if they were there, they'd realize they missed a lot by not being there.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. If you're at a festival, don't just go sit in your room. Get out, walk around, talk to people. There's industry, but even beyond the industry, you want to talk to the other comedians. You're making connections. The networking is one of the biggest things you can get out of a festival is the people who are here run rooms all around the country. It doesn't have to, and some of them at clubs. I mean, the best thing you could do is get out of your room, get out of your comfort zone, and talk to people.
Yeah. As sore as I am, I'm glad I went. For sure. Me looking back in hindsight, I was like, I wouldn't not want to be there.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm a kid at heart anyway. I love doing dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
And then even when I first started, just like she just said, when I first started, it was drilled into my brain that a significant percentage of your work is going to come from other comedians. So if these are people I don't know or I've never met, it would be pretty wise for me to get to know these people.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who, even outside of not to say just to have an agenda, but come on, man, don't be a dick and just be aloof or be antisocial. It's like, yo, even if no one has any type of ability to help you out, you don't want to be that guy to where you just, I'm going to come up and do the show and you're never going to see me. It's like, well, fuck you too.
Yeah.
It's a non-verbal fuck you to everybody. Like, we're in this festival together. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Let's hang out. But anything outside of that, you just been a jabroni.
We talked about it in the industry panel today. If your home state is Arizona, or say Arizona, and you want to go get booked in a different state, I mean, as a booker who books a comedy club in Arizona, you know, we go after a lot of our own talent for features and hosts, and we do pick a lot of people from out of state to come in and fill those spots too. But it's better for us if someone can say something great about you or tell us about you, another comic. We like referrals more than we like just getting bombarded with emails 24/7. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's so much more of a personal thing, and that was something that they talked about in industry panels. How far referrals go. Now I got to ask you guys. I know we talked about this at the industry panels before the show. As you guys take submissions and everything, it is part tape, but it is also part like, if you think, for lack of a better term, the comic's a dick or not. You know, that was a big thing that was talked about.
Yes.
Because, so how important
and we miss
of a role?
them. Sometimes we miss them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't tell. Yeah.
They put a really nice front on Instagram.
Yeah.
For sheep's clothing.
So how much big of a role does that play into, like, not just the obviously you want a quality submission, but being known in the industry as being someone who's easy to work with, how far does that go in terms of getting onto your guys' festival?
So I can tell you for San Diego is not finalized yet, the judging, but for Big Pine, we have 3 rounds. Sorry. The first round is 12 judges, and at least 5 of those judges will watch your video. Sometimes it's more than that, but it was always at least 5. And so we have a point system, 1 through 20, and you get points based on stage appearance, material, originality, and wow factor. And so then the top 300, we had 835 submissions. So the top 300 went in on to round 2. And round 2 was 4 bookers from Arizona and other states outside of Arizona. And they looked at the list and just gave us a simple yes or no. Some of them had no answer, but there were definite yeses and definite nos. So the yeses move on and the no's definitely don't. And then the others move on also. And then from there, we look at social media. We look at how much they promote themselves. We look at what they can add to the meat of the festival. So we have a pop-up podcast going. So if they can bring a podcast, or if they want to get involved in, because a lot of times a comedian, when they submit, they'll say like, I also want to bring a show, or I'd love to help teach a workshop. I've taught a workshop at another somewhere, whatever. And so if they add to like the meat of the festival, what we can give back to the other comedians, and we do consider them. And then we start reading bios and credits and whatever.
This is very informative.
Ken, that's what the podcast's trying to be.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, it is. You don't hear this, right?
I don't hear this type. I'm not usually privy to this type of information.
And that's what's so awesome about being like at the industry
this
panels.
Is dope.
So we're like comedy pop-ups role here at the festival. We're kind of like hybrid, like we're kind of half industry, half comic, because like we handle obviously the podcasting side, but today we got to sit in and basically rotate to every industry panel just to hear what you guys are saying. But that kind of insight alone, I was like, man, this trip has already like made it for me, especially as a young comic. I'm like, this is something that I have to aim for. So
the video is so important too. Like we were talking about in the panel today, I watched 830. I watch every single video that comes through for Big Pine. That is not true of all of the judges, but I want to make sure that 1, we don't miss anybody, or 2, that I agree.
Yeah.
Or that's not true. I don't necessarily love everyone's style of comedy that's in the festival. We try to be very diverse and cover all areas, but you can tell if a comedian's a good comedian or not, even if they're not necessarily your taste of comedian.
Yeah.
That's very mature of you.
So I watch every video, but I also judged for I judged for NoHo too. So that was another 300 videos. So the video is super important because a lot of the judges help each other out, our festivals. So you want to be able to grab them in the first few minutes. I said this in the panel, like no material about your state or your city, because it's not relevant to me bringing you to Flagstaff particularly. And also you don't want to spend your time hyping up the crowd. You have to be funny right away. Not like give it up to everybody for this, give it up for that, whatever, because it's too hard. You need to be funny right away.
Yeah. So what is your complete package kind of like ideal submission or submittee kind of look like in your eyes? Not necessarily like this is exactly what we're looking for, but along the lines of like what you guys are looking for.
That's a good question.
Honestly, they have to be funny, and they have to be someone that we want to spend a weekend with. I mean, I'm going to be spending 4 days with you. So you really have to just sell us on like, we try to bring chill, cool people up who want to hang out, have fun, be funny, meet industry, and network with other people.
Yeah. And I want to see a well-rounded entertainer. I want to see someone that can, like she said, I want to see that you're not just doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Do something else. There's something that you can be doing out there. And that's what and in today's comedy world, you have to be able to do other things than just stand up. And that's important to us because we do a lot of theme shows.
Yeah.
We like theme shows. We like people that bring us ideas. I like someone who is going to send me their packet and they have ideas of shows, ideas of podcasts, ideas of anything. I like that.
Yeah.
Bring something to me that I may really enjoy. Make yourself valuable.
Yeah, that's I tell people that all the time. So as a young comic, the two things that I learned, because obviously you learn that it's not just about, it is about working on your craft, but there's also like those like kind of extra things that count. Like the two main things I learned was, one, be valuable, like you said, you know, brings if you could make a flyer, if you could do audio, if you could do something, you know, and the other one was the hang. Like, you know, if you're even with another comic in like a headliner's eyes who like they want to pick someone to bring you on the road, most likely like the deal breaker is kind of like the hang. You
gotta be a cool hang, man.
Yeah. So
be a cool hang.
Jumping on this festival, man, like what's it been like for you so far?
Oh, this festival has sucked so far, man. This is terrible. This is the worst experience. No, I'm totally joking. I'll just give you a cool, very, very quick backstory. Before I even submitted, I heard about it, and I heard it was one of the top festivals to get in. You know, you hear about Montreal and things of that nature, but as far as opportunity goes, this is one of the ones you want to get in. So I submitted last year and I didn't get it, and I was fortunate enough or blessed enough to get it this year, and I pretty much got a similar call that Lamort got. Just called like it was literally like a scene on a movie. Like I'm asleep. It's whatever time in the afternoon. Real comic hours.
I'm asleep. It's 3:30 p.m.
You know, it's whatever time in the afternoon, and the phone is on my nightstand buzzing. Just, you know, hand comes from under the cover, just like a hey, yeah, hello. Yeah, this is Ken Boyd. Yeah, this is me. Yeah, congratulations, you made it in the Big Sky. What? Huh? Yeah. We love you. We want to bring you in. So that alone, because I know there are thousands of comedians that submit to this or these caliber of festivals. So just getting in, I know, like, I'm already through the roof with appreciation. But the experience, just like my brother said here, everyone had, you know, unless it's some good actors, I haven't run into any dick shit. I've genuinely enjoyed the time that I've spent with everyone, whether it be industry or a comic or just an organizer for the festival. So everyone has been a good hang so far. I'm just talking about good hangs. And today was very informative for the panels, the 3 panels that I went to. Even just now, I'm picking up so much valuable information because admittedly, previously I was naive enough to think, I think we all thought this at some certain point, if I'm funny enough on stage, everything else will take care of itself. If I keep ripping, that's it. Everything else is cool. I'm dope on stage. Kiss my ass. Everything else it'll come.
Yeah.
But that's just not, you know, you get older, you get more mature. You know, and of course I was a younger guy at the time. And you just come to realize that's just not the case. You need to know, you know, certain things. You need to know this is the way this works. And you need to, just like my brother said, you need to be able to contribute more than, yeah, you're funny, but what else? Yeah. Or are you taking care of are you presenting yourself properly on social media? Are you making regular contributions to build your brand? Are you putting in the work? Yeah. So I picked up valuable information. So far, this is what, day 3? 3 of the festival? You know, so despite what happens in the actual outcome of the festival, I've already won. Yeah. I've already won with just the bits I've been able to pick up. I had no idea to say, hey, yeah, by the way, I could teach or I could do a crowd work workshop or whatever. You know, just to have a slight edge to say I can contribute to you invaluable. Yeah. Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
Because those are the things that we're looking at, right? Once we get down to the 200 people, they're all funny, okay? They're all funny. There's a lot of funny people out there.
But what else?
But we can only bring so many. So that's when we really get down to the nitty gritty. We really look at the, you know, especially her. She's gonna look everywhere and find everything about you because she's good at it.
You are like all of my exes, and it's appreciative. They should apply to Big Pine to help you out with that process.
But in short, man, I've already attained a lot of information.
Yeah.
Well, because you want to bring people who are going to take. Here's the thing. We only have so many spaces, and there's so many comedians who want those spaces. And so I want to make sure that the comedians that we bring are going to take advantage of the situation, and they're going to and they're not going to waste it. Somebody else could have that opportunity to come and try to, because for us, we give away 9 paid weekends at clubs across the country. We did California, Massachusetts, New York, and Arizona, a bunch in Arizona. And so we, there are opportunities there. Ours isn't a contest, but there are opportunities there for people. And even if you don't get a Best of Fest spot, you are seen by people, and you're robbing someone else of that opportunity if you don't go and make the most out of it. So I try really hard to make sure that we bring in the people who really want to be there.
Yeah. We were talking to Natasha Pearl Hansen, who's one of the festival organizers here. She's amazing. We were talking to her in the car, and she really hammered home the point, especially here at Big Sky, that everybody gets something. All the comics get something from this, whether it be like, oh, now you're connected with this booker, you're connected with that booker. So it's rare because the competition, especially here, there are 2 teams. There's Team Seeley and Team Augie, but that's almost secondary,
Actually, it's just Team Seeley.
That's hilarious.
I just like talking shit.
Yeah. But what's funny is the lack of talking shit that's kind of been happening, right? At least so far. I guess we'll see it kind of in the next couple of days.
I hit the ground running, man.
Yeah,
I really did. I just like to fuck around.
But see, that's the difference. When we're talking about assholes or not, you can go on Facebook and be funny, but in an asshole way, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That what he's doing with the comics, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's what we all do. That's what we all do for each other. That brings out that makes it easier for me to have a conversation with him because I know he likes to fuck around and stuff like that. So when I'm talking to because I think it was a big misconception in some of the classes we were talking about assholes. If I go on your Facebook and I see you complain about everything.
Yeah,
or
always.
attacking people.
I know you're going to complain about something at my festival, and that's not what I want. Because there's always going to be parts of the festival that go wrong. That's just life. Yeah. How you deal with it is a different situation.
And you'd be surprised if you go to a festival and you're unhappy with something. If you reach out to someone on the production, this is the truth for every festival I've ever been to so far, not just ours. If you reach out to someone on the production and you say, "Hey, I'm having an issue with this," I guarantee you 10 out of 10 times they will bend over backwards to fix it for you instead of being pissed off or being whatever, going online and bitching on Facebook or something. Like, if you just go up to someone and you talk to them, they will do their best that they can because they brought you here from out of state. They want you to be happy.
And I gotta protect that brand too. Like, hey, this is Big Pop, man. Or this is Big Sky.
If you go to the internet before you give me a chance to fix something, I mean, it's going to be
because the general consensus is like, yo, come talk to me. Yeah, come talk to me.
The other thing is too, I don't think people realize about festivals. We were talking about in the industry panel a little bit, and you just touched on it a second ago. Is people don't realize how much bookers talk to each other. You might not get booked immediately while you're here at Big Sky because there's tons of people here for the industry. Tons of people are going to get opportunities. You might not get booked right here. But if you were cool and you were hilarious and I know your name now, if your name comes up 6 months down the road or even 2 years down the road and someone says, well, what do you think about so-and-so? I'm like, oh, you know what? I met them at Big Sky. They were super cool. They were super funny. Definitely. And you'll get backed just from years down. I mean, they talk. People talk.
Yeah.
Residual.
That's a line too that it was funny because Cyrus from Levity said that today, where it's like also be careful about like when you're talking about like your accomplishments, where it's like, oh, I sold out, in Miami or whatever, because most likely they know that person and that's just a phone call away. And as soon as you learn that or you lose that trust, it's hard to get that trust back. Yeah. So I want to jump into something else real fast because this was interesting. Jack and Hillary, I heard you guys bought an RV.
We did. We got an RV last week, actually.
Picked it up on Monday.
And so the whole point of the RV was to travel to these comedy festivals, or?
So we try to hit one new festival every month. It's not totally possible because at this point we are on the production team of a couple other. I mean, we help out with NoHo. We help out with some other festivals in Arizona. We help out with things, so it's not totally possible. But we're going to try to hit 8 at least a year, and we it's a little mini studio. It's all hooked up for podcasting and video, and our little crew comes, and we have one spot open that people are going to be like rotating in to be a part of it, and it's going to be cool.
That's pretty cool.
Have you guys already taken it to a festival yet? Or?
No, we just got it Monday.
Just got it Monday?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I went on this thing, and I don't know if you guys ever heard about it, but it was called the Bingle Bus with Eddie Ift. So he
That's my guy.
Love Eddie.
he turned
That motherfucker is rich, ain't he? That motherfucker got money, man. It is unreal. Like, why you even performing? Just go somewhere and sit your rich ass down. That dude got cash, man. I'm telling you. I featured for him. I apologize for cutting you off.
No, go for it.
You know the name Eddie Iff, and I automatically, I was fortunate enough to work with him in Denver. One time, I featured for him for the weekend, and this motherfucker just like, yeah, man, just get this. Y'all familiar with the RVCA clothing? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, they just send me shit, just for no reason.
To be fair, he looks like all of their models, like on the he's wearing their clothes. Like you could just guess
because he still does the Talking Shit podcast. Does he still do that or no?
No, well, he changed it to the Bingle Bus podcast.
Oh, okay, so he changed it.
Yeah.
But the same fan base, right?
Yeah, same fan base. So what happened with that show? What basically they took a short bus and they spent $100,000. There's $50,000 of his own money, $50,000 crowdsourced.
No shit.
Turned the short bus into a mobile podcast studio, which just looked like a Winnebago. So I told him, I said, why didn't you just buy a Winnebago? And he did not appreciate that comment. And he was just like, yeah, nobody's ever told me that before. But we went on this tour, and I was supposed to be just the podcast producer, but I ended up being the bus driver. So I drove this bus all over. Yeah, you guys are gonna have fun. you guys are gonna encounter things that you never thought would be a problem. And I knew it was a bad. At least you guys got something brand new, which sounds really nice because we totally ghetto rigged everything that we did.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. And I knew it was gonna be a weird trip when as we're pulling out of the driveway, all the lights went off in the RV, inside. And he was just like, we got to go to San Francisco. We'll figure that out later. And we were in Calabasas. So
Maybe he doesn't have as much money.
Yeah.
They got a new one. Big Pine got the money. Fuck Eddie Iff. Now I'm totally joking.
I'm as my ringtone. That's gonna be my new one.
My first
Eddie is
podcast.
Ken Boyd. I'm full bullshitting Eddie.
My first podcast interview was Eddie Ift.
That you interviewed him, or
I interviewed him for
the House of Comedy
Yeah.
podcast.
That was my first one.
Nice. So what are you guys obviously you have this. Are you guys anticipating anything with the RV? Kind of this being I like you said, you want to hit one every month, one festival every month, but what is your ultimate goal with the RV completely down the road?
Well, we're starting a documentary. We're going to film that while we're traveling to all these places in a podcast. So that is our.
That's cool.
It's about the behind the scenes of comedy. Everything that people only see what's on stage, and that's what they see. And so this is the road part, the behind the scenes part, not just for the comedians, but for the production, really. Because Big Pine, we had 30 people on our production team, and they're all volunteers.
Wow.
We run the whole festival off of volunteers. So that's a huge part of it. Is we're working together as a community. So it's kind of the idea of the RV. Big Irish Jay was talking to me today. He wants to go on tour, so we're going to go out with him, give him an opportunity to use it for tour or whatever. I don't know. I don't know where it'll take us, but
How long do you guys plan on filming? After you say, okay, let's make something of all this footage, maybe a year or so?
well, we're going to
Probably film for the next year. For sure, maybe a little bit longer. Just depends on how much we get.
We're going to be doing a lot of live stuff too, and we're going to be doing podcasting. We're just going to be creating content, basically constantly creating content. We do a lot for our promotion for the festival, we do a lot of promo videos. We try to do almost everything video because that's all anybody cares about anymore. And so we're going to be just on the road making promo videos for the 2 different festivals and possibly a few others. I mean, we just help out with a lot of stuff. So
Netflix, here they come.
It's gonna be
coming.
the Big Pine Mobile Comedy Festival.
Why not?
Where you hit trampoline parks in every state.
They put up, man, you know what type of bullshit they put on Netflix, man? You might as well put something good on there.
Right.
Man, I saw some shit. They had what's the damn name of the thing? What's the guy? He had it was basically like a tickling contest. It was like the underworld of
Tickling contest?
I can't think of the name of it, but it was a tickling contest.
I've never seen this.
Somebody
that they had on
should pitch
Netflix.
that to your festival.
Oh my god!
I will bring.
And I'm watching like they really put anything on here, man. You might as well put something dope on there like that.
Well, why not? You know, and that's the thing is you just got. We want to be ready
Yeah.
for the next level.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is to be, well-rounded and have stuff ready.
Yeah, it's the same
To
for.
show.
I think it's the same for industry and production too. It's not just the same for because I'm not a comedian. I will never. You'll never see me on stage.
You'll just catch her surfing through people's Facebooks and Twitters.
But like we have to be rounded too. I have to be more valuable than just like I book a festival. Like you have to be able to do all these other things too.
Yeah. When you were researching these comics, right? Have you ever found anything that was just bizarre or weird that like stood out to you? Like some neo-Nazi stuff from like 2013.
So we
Charges.
Big Pine, we try really hard to create a very diverse, inclusive community. So we are very careful about who comes to the festival. We want everyone to feel safe. We want everyone to feel welcome. That is my number one priority with the festival. And yeah, there are some people who, they won't come. And it's just because I don't feel like they would promote that idea.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sorry, just like jumping on the creeping thing.
No, it's okay.
I mean, you find things out about people, and like we said, we have a lot of people out there helping us and telling us, hey, this person has got something going on right now, and especially with the Me Too movement that's going on, there's so much of it. You got to find out what's real, and what's not real sometimes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because there's just like in anything, there's going to be real accusations, and there's going to be people just being mad, and there's fake accusations, and as a festival, how do you figure out what's real?
And you can't.
You can't.
You can't. It's not our job to be the judge and the jury. It's just our job to create a safe space for the people that come and make sure that they're safe and they have fun and that they can make the most out of it. And if they're worried about racism or anything, then they can't do that.
Whatever.
They can't come and have a good time and perform because they're there. It's their job. They're coming to perform and be funny and do a good job, and you have to create a safe work environment for them.
Yeah. Have you had any issues yet, like with the festivals, or everything's been pretty calm?
I can honestly say I am not jealous of you. That's some serious vetting y'all got to do.
Well, you were talking about with Dan, like before so Dan was talking about kind of getting some like hate comments and stuff like on his posts that you guys have kind of received some stuff that was, less than nice. But you said that
There's trolls everywhere. I mean, you just have to ignore them.
When you start doing good stuff, you start doing something that's getting traction, or people are starting to see it, and you're getting eyeballs at you. People are going to talk shit, man. It's just going to happen, and you have to figure out how to take that as they're just you just can't respond.
Yeah,
you just can't. I mean, that's our goal. That's been our motto from the beginning is that we're not going to respond to stupid stuff.
Would it be funny if it was Augie and Seeley making comments on the video? Fuck Big Pine.
They're gonna copyright Big. They're just gonna copyright Big.
We got Big, and I feel they got Big in their festival. It's bullshit.
It's the two do get confused.
You're a tree, we're a sky.
Right?
Big
the whole
nature.
thing.
The next one is gonna be
Big nature. No, when you guys come together, this partnership is Big Nature. We're putting a label on it. Sorry.
Yeah, I like that.
How much do you think of those comments are people who like are just trolling, or people who submitted and didn't get in? Have you had any of that? Or is
I
it
have
all
no
the
idea.
same?
I don't think it matters. They're bored. They don't have anything else to do, and
I think people get hurt.
I think people who make those comments are unhappy. They're unhappy people, and they have to like get it out. And so it's like, okay.
And it's funny, at the industry panels, one of the first words that came out was positivity. Like, you guys look for positivity, and that's you're like, oh well, you're just proving the point.
You have to sell. You have to sell yourself. There are so many super talented, very funny comedians, and if you are not easy to work with, then why are people going to want to work with you?
Yeah.
We bring in people to help. If you don't get into our festival, but you come up to our festival and meet us and hang out,
You get stage time for sure.
Stage time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but we also if you're a cool person, we'll ask you to maybe help us out and be a part of production and get that associate producer credit that you need for
whatever.
your resume. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. We try to, you're not ready for this. Maybe you could help us out in this way.
Yeah.
Only if you're cool, though.
And we're talking about you being a more well-rounded comedian. Production credit on a festival is great credit for that. I mean, it shows that you're willing to work as part of a team. It's great. And we do. A ton of our team are comedians who submitted to the festival, didn't get in, and reach out, and they want to be a part of the production. Production always gets stage time.
Yeah.
They get free accommodations. They get the free meals throughout the festival. I mean, you don't have to be accepted to make a good thing. And also with Big Pine, we had probably 50 comedians come up to the festival who weren't in the festival, but we have like 8 open mics going on throughout the festival. At some of the open mics, you can win spots onto the festival later. If you're a comedian, you come to Big Pine Comedy Festival, no matter where you come from, you get a free badge. You get to go to all the industry panels, all the meet and greets with the industry, everything. You don't have to just be selected to make something out of it.
Big Pine wasn't ours the first 2 years. I did not get into Big Pine the first 2 years.
Really?
We volunteered.
We worked our tails off. We paid for everything ourselves most of the time. And it was given to us, and now it's ours. And I'll still never be in it, but it's fine.
That's true.
And that's another thing. I think
a loser, right?
Right, Ken? You got into Big Sky.
Too many people out there with festivals make the festival about themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I maybe one day down the line might host a few more things, but other than that, it's this festival isn't about me.
Yeah.
It's about the comedians.
Yeah.
That's all. If I make it about me, then it'll lose what's making it already great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I mean that my point was, I never got into that festival, and now I help run the festival. You know what I mean? So,
could I ask them something real quick? This is your first time hanging around Big Sky, or what? Now, just from what you've seen so far, even what you're going to see in the next few days, is it possible that you'll adopt one or two elements? Like, hey, I like the way they do that. Let's use this for Big Pine. Or is it like, what we got going on works?
No, for sure we will. And Lucas, that's part of the reason why Lucas had invited us out. We met him at NoHo and volunteered out down there and helped out with the production, and we're industry, and then he invited us up here, and he said, if you guys have any questions, let us know. I mean, we're working with Jeff Singer from Just for Laughs. He's come on and he's mentoring us, and so I think the festivals want to help each other. I think that they all want to help each other.
I mean, we're always welcome to people that run festivals to come to Big Pine to look for ideas. I mean, obviously we're not gonna steal shows or anything like that from them, but we will take ideas that might make our festival better.
Like the mandatory
or take certain
meetings.
comedians that can make your
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, at the festivals I go to, you'll see a lot of those. The good ones will be at our festival. Not all of them, but I mean, it's a good opportunity. I mean, we're going out here to look too. We want to make our festival a great festival too, and we're not going to obviously take all his comedians, but
we're looking for headliners too. So we bring in a lot of headliners that headline B-level clubs. Those are we also bring in some A-level club headliners, but a lot of ours are B-level headliners. So we're looking for headliners whenever we're anywhere.
Yeah,
you have to be.
Yeah,
if you're not, then you're not doing your job. I mean, that's why all the industries out here looking for talent. And that's that. But the nice thing about the festival setting is it's not just going to a club and watching a set and having that person leave. We get to spend 5 days with everybody and really get to see what they have.
Yeah.
The mandatory events, that's one thing that we'll pick up from this. We do have like mixers and meet and greets, but they're not mandatory. And I'm always like, why are you missing this opportunity? I don't understand why you're not here. So absolutely, next year, Big Pine 2019, mandatory events.
Yes.
Thank you, Big Sky.
Yes. All right.
But we should all be growing. We should all always be wanting to grow.
Right.
Always.
It's like an ecosystem. Like everybody can exist within it. Like as soon as you can kind of get that, and it's always nice to be competitive, but like how Ken was playfully competitive, but when you start letting that turn into bitter like competitions and stuff, it's just
I want to be the best that Big Pine can be. I don't want to I want Big Sky to be the best that Big Sky can be.
Yeah,
like you said, the more great festivals there are in the U.S., the better comedy is.
Yeah,
and the more fans you're creating, the more people who you can get interested into comedy, the better comedy will be. We can all move forward together. There's so many people.
Absolutely. All right, I have one final question for you guys, and we'll wrap this baby up. I wanted to ask you guys, what is the one thing that you hope to pull from the Big Sky Comedy Festival?
Me personally,
All three of you.
representation.
Representation.
Winning would be great. And they stated something earlier about wanting to be represented just for the sake of being represented. Mm-hmm. They said something in one of the earlier panels, like, yeah, you really shouldn't do it just for that and just because your friends are getting represented. I know, and this is the most I'm going to say this really, and I have to preface it with this because it's not a joke. There's no humble way I can say this. But
go for it, bro.
I know there is a significant contribution that I can make to the art form of stand-up comedy, and I am limited in what I'm able. My reach is limited, basically, and I know I can do more with these certain people around me. So that's something. If I'm just being transparent, that's something that I yearn and I'm actively seeking out. Everything else would be great, but that would really, really be. That would really hit the spot for me, representation. Yeah,
and during the representation panel that they had today, during the industry panels, someone brought up, they're like, how they say, don't look for it, like, let them find you. This is the place.
This is it.
This is the place.
You know what? I'm lying. Second.
All right, you lied that whole time. Everybody forget the past
representation is secondary. Getting on to Big Pine Comedy Fest is number one. Just between me and you.
All right, just between me and you. All right, cool.
Big Pine is number one. Representation is second.
All right, that's cool. That's fair. What about you guys? What are you guys hoping to pull from this?
Relationships. I absolutely came out here just for the relationships that we form with comedians, with industry, with even just the production team of Big Sky. I really believe that relationships are what help you in this, and so that's the only reason.
I feel you. I jumped on Tinder as soon as I got here.
I was really excited to see a festival that I've heard nothing but really great things about. I was really excited just to see how he ran his festival and how it was. And I mean, past my expectations so far.
Right. Yeah. I think we could all agree with that. And
this is dope so far.
Yeah. And I was talking to Lucas, and he was just because this is one of my first festival experiences, and he was just like, he's like, we're spoiling you guys. He's like, in terms of like, this is what a festival, should be.
Everybody's just greeting you with a smile too.
Right.
And everybody's got nice teeth. It's like, how you motherfuckers got nice teeth?
I think that's all part of it. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming here, and I'll let you guys plug your social medias. Whoever wants to jump on first.
BigPineComedyFestival.com. Pre-submissions are actually open for us right now on the DL. And San Diego Comedy Festival, that is SanDiegoComedyFest.com, where submissions are open.
House Comedy.
And houseofcomedy.net is Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. Yeah. And he's got one in Arizona, one in Minnesota at the Mall America, one in Edmonton, and 2 more coming.
Nice.
Yep. And since I am a comic, Real Jack Galvin on Instagram.
Follow
Facebook.
Jack. Don't follow Hillary, because then she'll look at all your profile stuff.
I actually don't give out.
She'll go through all. She'll find back in 2012.
I post lots of pictures of my kids and stuff. You don't want to follow me on social media.
What about you, Ken?
I use the absolute same name for everything. I'm on every form of social media.
The Real Jack Galvin. We got it.
That's me. Twitter, Facebook, Pimpstagram, Snapchat, BlackPeopleMeet.com, Christian Mingle. All the older people, I'm on Ancestry.com. Whatever you own, I'm on it. And I use the same name. It's The Ken Boyd Show. I got to spell it because I'm from the South and people think I'm saying something different than Ken, but it's the only way I know how to say it. They think I'm saying Kim or Kian or whatever. It's The Ken Boyd, that's my name, KenBoyd Show, The Ken Boyd Show. Put that in anywhere, you'll find me.
Yeah, please follow these guys, and please follow Big Pine Comedy Festival and Big Sky Comedy Festival. Thanks to them for having us here, and it's been such a fun ride. And
thanks for having me on, brother.
Absolutely, looking forward to the next couple days and seeing who the finalists are. It's gonna be a fun time. Thank you guys for listening. This has been the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. You guys have a good day.